Alright, good evening everybody. I'm doing this video to show you guys how to use the built-in math equation editor on the DeVry discussion boards. As you can see, I'm already in a discussion board and I've got my response box up. Now if you look at the toolbar on your response bar, you will notice about 3 inches in there is an icon that looks like an X with an exponent, and if you hover over that, it says Math Equation Editor. If you click on this, you will get another box that opens up. This may take a few minutes to load. It is run by JavaScript, and another thing you have to make sure that is very important, and you need to make sure that your Java is completely up to date in order for this to work properly. In order to make sure your Java is up to date, I've provided a link in the description of the video. You can just click on that link and it will check to make sure that you will have the latest Java version installed on your computer. Now this is universal. It will work on PC or Mac. So as you can see here, it does take a few seconds for it to load, and once it gets loaded, you'll see the Java icon and the logo here showing that it is loaded. Now another thing I wanted to point out at this moment is when you launch this, you may get an error saying that there is a security risk that Java is trying to run on your computer. That is perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong. There actually is no security risk. There should be an option with a small checkbox where you can check mark and say allow this program to run, or I accept the risk, and then hit OK, and then it will load your pop-up window. Like I said, there is no security risk. That is just Java interacting with the computer itself. Here is that pop-up I was just telling you about. So you could just check mark here where it says accept the risk and run this application, and you could also hit show options. Do not show this again for apps from the publisher, and the location above, check mark that way it doesn't show up again, and we select run. And then once you finish selecting that, you will see your toolbar is up here, finishes loading, and you should have a red and gray cursor in this box. Now if you wanted to do a fraction, pretty much all the icons, all the formats you're going to use are going to be in this first set of formats. You're going to click on this first set here, and you're going to select the fraction format, which is this one right here. Basically it's an empty space over another empty space. When we select that format, you will see the format here on your editor, and you'll have your red cursor within this top box. Now let's say your first part of the equation has an exponent. You can come with your red cursor inside of that box. You can come back up here to the format sets, and you can select the format that you need. In this case, we're going to select this format, indicating that we are going to be using an exponent. And then you will notice that it changes that box and includes a box for your exponent. So you'll be able to type in your equation. You want to use your arrow keys when you're moving from one space to another. In this case, we're going to use an example 2x squared. So we're going to use our right arrow key and move it over to the exponent space. So 2x squared. And then we're going to use our right arrow key again, and that will go back outside of the exponent area. And then we can continue on with our equation. We're going to do plus 4xy, and then we're going to do minus, and then we want to put another exponent in there. We can go ahead and click on here, click on our format sets, and choose the exponent again. And once again, you will see your space for your standard number, and then a space for your exponent, and we'll put here y cubed. And then you use your right arrow key once again, and then this time we want to go to the denominator portion of our fraction, so we're going to use the down arrow key. When you hit the down arrow key, your cursor will move directly to the denominator portion inside the box, and we can do the same thing we just did. We will select our format sets, select our exponent format, and put in our exponent. And once again, remember to use your right arrow key to move to the outer space of the format you are putting in. And then once you're done, you can use your right arrow key one more time, and you will see your cursor take up the full height of your formula. If you want to continue entering formula, you can, let's say we wanted to divide this, we would hit spacebar a couple of times, and we would just type in divided by, and then we would continue to do another formula here by going back to the format and selecting our fractions format, and then we can continue to put in another format here. Now if you hit the right arrow key and go to the end again, you can hit enter and start a new line, in which case you can continue working on your problem. Like if you wanted to simplify it or factor out your equation, you can go to the next line and do that. Now you could take some time and browse through all the format sets. You will notice there are numerous different formats, square roots. You could even use, if you come over to this one here, you can use formats with parentheses, brackets, absolute values, and different options that way. And then when you're done, if you just click on the insert button, basically what this will do is convert your formula to an image. You may get this pop up down here. Keep an eye out down here for this little Java icon, and it will show you allow access to the following. We can just hit allow, and it will continue to convert your equation. So what this is doing is converting the equation to an image that will then import it into your discussion. Now if it takes a little bit of time, don't worry, it's normal. It's because of the encoding format. So just give it a minute or two, and you will see eventually what will happen is your screen will, your pop-up on your math editor will close, and then a couple seconds after that your formula will appear inside the response box for your discussion post. There we go. Our screen is starting to close. It's finished processing the equation, and now it is closed, and then we give it a couple seconds more and our equation should appear right here. Now once you have your equation in here, you will notice that you cannot edit it unless you use the MathEquationEditor again. However, you can type into it just by hitting enter. It will take your cursor to the next line and allow you to type in more notes, a conclusion, or even provide another problem for another student. And that is pretty much how you use the built-in math equation editor using the DeVry Discussion board. I will also be doing a video on how to use the built-in math editor on Microsoft Word 2010. So just look for a link, and as soon as it is available, it will be provided with the link on this video as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this helps. If anybody has any issues, you can email me. My contact information will also be in the post with this video.